"I'm done," he said. "I'm tired of being manipulated. I can't stand her." And then he listed 10 things she does wrong or not enough of. This is my newest mediation and coaching client. I could see the pain in his speech, his eyes, and his contorted face. I could tell he's been saying this in his head probably for years, but never out loud. They've been married 15 years, and her partner's in a service business. He's the brawn, she's the brains. 2 kids in middle and high school. Now, as a mediator, executive coach, and exit planner, I have seen how exhausting and frustrating it can be to feel like you're in a one-sided relationship. This scenario, not unusual. It's clear when a business owner is at a breaking point, feeling overwhelmed by the lack of reciprocity and respect in their marriage, and then they go and they pull on that lever, divorce, and they say, "Get me out of here!" Here are some steps to consider. 1, self-assessment. You got to look in the mirror. As upset or as justified as you might feel, you got to reflect on your actions and your feelings and understand what you need, what's non-negotiable for your happiness and your well-being. When someone is at a crossroads in their marriage like this, it's easy to begin feeling a desire of wanting something different. Variety, exciting, meaning you step outside of the marriage. And I tell my son about the 30% rule. You're with your girlfriend or your spouse, and she checks off your top 10 needs or wants. Everything is great, right? And then when you're in this tough situation and the girl who's giving you the eye at the gym or the grocery store fills maybe 3 of those boxes. She's younger, she's prettier, she's more fit, whatever. She makes you laugh. And so you take the jump and you step outside the relationship, and now you're with someone who only fills 3 out of your 10 needs. That's 30%. That's an F. Marriage requires both partners to give their all. 100-100, not 50-50. And this is why you have to, and this is number 2, you have to communicate. Have an honest conversation with your spouse. Express your feelings, and here's the important part, without blaming. Focus on how your spouse's actions make you feel and what you need to see change. You'd be surprised to find out that the way your spouse puts away a dish or how they turn on the light is the catalyst that makes you or the other spouse upset, and they have no clue what's brewing. But if you don't say anything, they won't know. Seek professional help, individually and as a couple. If you're not learning or growing, you're stagnating and ultimately missing out on opportunities for personal development and fulfillment. It's one of the reasons why, in addition to being a mediator and exit planner, I ended up picking up clients to coach. You want to have that neutral third party who can help facilitate productive conversations and uncover underlying issues. Now, if you've been to counseling and haven't seen any change, it might be time to reassess your situation and consider whether staying in the relationship is truly beneficial for both parties. Now, this could mean trying a different therapist, it could mean exploring alternative methods of counseling, or accepting that it may be time to move on. I'm an adult child of an alcoholic parent, and I can't tell you how many times I would ask my mom to leave because it was clear Dad didn't know how to fix himself. Now, he had undiagnosed bipolar disorder and severe depression, and it wasn't until the last 10 years of his life when I was able to convince him to let me coordinate that path of care for him that he actually enjoyed a normal life in his sunset years. But if you're taking the time to seek that counseling or therapy, you could save yourself years and years of anguish. Next would be to set boundaries. If you can establish clear boundaries and expectations, then you can communicate them explicitly and ensure they are understood. And now this might include household responsibilities, personal space, respectful communication. And if your spouse continues to disregard these, well, then that may be a sign for more drastic measures, such as taking a temporary separation to reflect on the relationship's future. Or you want to consistently enforce boundaries because they're crucial for maintaining respect and balance in any relationship and ensuring that the business, because that's what I do here is, help people run their businesses, You want to make sure that part succeeds. Like here you have a couple, they're tied to each other. They don't want to destroy this business because this is how they make a living. So you have to plan for the future. I'm an exit planner. I advise clients to consider the practical aspects of divorce. Now, this includes financial planning, living arrangements, and the impact on any dependents. In this situation, there's 2 kids involved. You have to assess your financial situation thoroughly. Assets, debts, potential alimony or child support, the contracts you have in your business. Explore different living arrangements that would be feasible post-divorce. Consider the emotional and psychological impact of any children involved and plan for how to address their needs during this transition. Consulting with a financial advisor and a legal expert can provide clarity and prepare you for the steps ahead. My clients are choosing mediation because they know they can't afford to ruin this business with lawsuits and not communicating. They built this business together, and so they have to use mediation. They don't have to. They're choosing to. But they know that this is probably the most cost-effective way to keep their business alive while they figure out their relationship. Last is self-care. Prioritize your mental and physical health. Engage in activities that bring you joy and reduce stress. A lot of times, married couples, they stop doing certain things like regular exercise, for example, balanced diet, or adequate sleep, because these are fundamental ways to maintain your well-being. And so beyond considering practices like meditation or yoga or journaling, you got to surround yourself with supportive friends who can provide that emotional support. And when I say call in your friends for support, it's not to say, oh yeah, man, you're right. She's terrible. No, they're there to exercise and enjoy the fellowship, right? While you figure this out, looking at the mirror and being honest with yourself. And one thing that I can say is you have to stay away from alcohol and controlled substances. You need a clear mind. If you're not aware of this, alcohol actually removes oxygen from your brain, resulting in poor decision making. So in a time like this where you're having to make very, very difficult choices, it's a great time to stay away from substances that can cloud your mind and take away from your health. Taking time for those hobbies and interests can rejuvenate your spirit and provide a necessary break from the emotional strain of the marital issues that you're dealing with. Making decisions that align with your long-term well-being is important. Now, whether you decide to work on the marriage or move towards divorce, ensure that you're doing what's best for you and your future. Now, if you require mediation, we have a product called Dispute Doctor. In business and family disputes, litigation is often the last resort. It's costly, it's time-consuming, and stressful for all parties involved. Thankfully, there's a more effective alternative, mediation. It offers you a space for open conversation, negotiation, and collaboration. And I find this to be very effective, especially when a business owner is married and his or her spouse is their business partner. It prioritizes your autonomy, confidentiality, and the preservation of the relationship. If you're a business owner and need coaching to figure out how to be an entrepreneur, but also a good spouse, we can help. Click on the link below to book a time on our calendar, and we look forward to being a resource to you and your business. Thanks for watching Friday Formula. If you're looking for 6 ways to win or lose in business, watch this video to find out.